We were talking about ghost hunting and Bigfooting.
Yeah, I don't. I would definitely say when I was a little bit more younger, I guess I definitely the ghost stuff I was a little bit more into, but when like you watch, I forget there's this show where like they literally like break down like just it's not Mythbusters, but it's another show that like they literally break down like found footage stuff like Joe was just talking about like Bigfoot, like somebody would have like caught him by now, and like they literally like they take the footage, they break it down, and then they split into two groups, and each group like literally tries to recreate the video, and it's kind of crazy like how like they each come up with their own idea, break it down, and then literally recreate the footage, and like you're like, holy shit, like yeah, that's not real footage.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously. Joe, why don't you hit us up with what happened last week in League Pick'em?
Well, that would require me to have the windows open, John. So give me
Excuse me.
a couple seconds here. Couple seconds.
There's some research going on. Congratulations on your win, Grody. Best and most epic garbage match is about to happen between me and Eric. I'm so nervous.
Actually, I was on here before I got on. I was trying to figure out because Kevin was talking about how the division record should put Eric ahead of John, and then I thought, well, maybe it's because Eric lost the first head-to-head and he didn't. So I'm trying to figure out why Eric is behind you in the standings right now.
Yeah, I don't understand it either because it should go division.
He's got two games on you in the division. He beat you already once in the head-to-head. Like, yeah, your points obviously outweigh the living shit out of him, but that's it.
Yeah,
I figured it's just points, but I don't know. I
mean,
it
has to be points, but it should have been division first.
I always assumed points were first because that's the one thing I've consistently and always noticed. Whoever has the most points, regardless of anything else, is seated above the person below or with the same record and less points.
Yeah.
And then Kevin, Melissa is asking if you have any pictures of Bailey, if you could send them to me.
Oh yeah, I could take a look through my stuff and see if I have anything.
We got a lot of old man Bailey, but we don't got a lot of baby Bailey.
Yeah,
there's not a lot.
I will say the one thing I've been trying to do, which this has been a big headache, I've been trying to access my MySpace because you still can. But in order to do so, I have to get my password recovery through Yahoo, which I can't get into. And in order to recover my Yahoo, I have to be able to access my AOL. And I guess you can actually call AOL and they'll give you access to your AOL email.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't access my MySpace anymore. I think I used my school email address, so I have like no way to get into it.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of photos of the dogs on there. So.
Oh.
Yeah, because Melissa was saying we have a bunch of pictures of older Bailey, we just have none of younger, and I'm like, I don't know that there's a lot of them because, 16 years ago, none of us really had, smartphones up coming out of our ass.
Yeah,
I wonder what I've got. Like,
did you ask Jean too? I know she's.
Yeah,
Melissa has already asked Jean.
Okay, cool.
All right. So last week recap. JV, it didn't look good for you. Not just because you lost. For League Pick'em, I led the week with 5 correct picks, followed by Kevin with 4, Boss with 3, and then Stan and JV bringing up the rear with 2 each. We all would have got its science right, but for some reason Kevin had faith in Anthony, which was misguided. I have no idea why Boss or JV had faith in me. I had made it clear that I was not going to win, which admittedly I'm kind of bummed because that's 2 weeks in a row now that I completely fucking forgot to put in Watson. I'm not happy about it. And I don't know that I would have won, but had I opted to play San Francisco's D, which I didn't because it was going up against Miami, I put in San Fran's D in conjunction with Watson, I would have actually beat Eric, and then JV would be a clear choice for the playoffs. So my apologies there, JV. I will say my my gut guess on auto draft having another fucking week and beating Blavender completely paid off. I can't believe it. The only one that didn't work out, and I mean, I was looking at the list of QBs today, and boss, just about any other starting QB, and you fucking win. Any other starting QB.
$21 yo, the lowest point scored ever.
With one exception, nobody had Jimmy G. So if you had picked him up, he got injured, you still would have lost. But like every other starting quarterback got more points than fucking Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I literally picked up Deshaun Watson because the game was meaningless. So
Yeah, not really. It's still seeding, pal. You still have seeding, and you still have who you want to face in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, that's
at this point, it could be anybody though.
That's why it's kind of funny because it's like for me and Barry.
Everybody's above me is fucking 8-5, so it's like, oh, that I could do to change whoever it's gonna be. So
yeah, but if you had won, you would be 8-5 right now, and then all you got to do is win your last week and hope some other people lose because you have more points than everybody. So if you all finish,
you're number one in points scored. And if you had won, like Kevin's saying, you're 8-5. You essentially control your own destiny. In fact, you're going up against Blavender, so you guaranteed you'd be ahead of him in the seeding.
Yep.
And if you continued to score the points that you did, you'd end up with the number one overall seed.
Yep, you get a bye. Get the rest. Rest all those players.
No, he doesn't get a bye. There's no bye. There's no bye.
Yeah, not with 8 people. No, 8 teams in playoffs can't be a bye.
No, there's a way we could do a bye week with 8 people, but it goes to the last week of the regular season.
That's no good. Would be the worst, man.
You know, it's funny to me that everybody says that, but over the last probably 3 or 4 seasons, several teams have not had their shit wrapped up and they've needed to play, and it's sort of it's the league in it, and not fantasy, but at the actual football league is sort of leaning towards this, I'm not saying it's 100% guarantee that your team of starters is going to play, but the list of people, because only one team gets a bye week on either side, your list of potentially affected players by not playing is increasingly smaller. And you look at the fact that between Buffalo, Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Baltimore, all of them are vying for the top seed to get that bye week. In the end, they're all they're all within a game of each other. If things keep trending the way they're trending, I'm not going to change it ever. I'm not going to advocate for it. I watch it and I pay attention. It's these guys end up playing the full fucking game week 17 almost all the time in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, and you have in a few years too that it's just a matter of time that it's going to go from a 17-game season to an 18-game season. So.
Oh yeah, and the thing with 18 is all it does is it doesn't do anything. It gives us one more regular season game, which means for the division that we do, it just means that now you play everybody in the other division. No, you'll play 5 out of the 6 teams in the other division instead of 4 out of 6.
Yeah.
So that's all that'll do. It won't change the playoffs whatsoever. The playoffs will still be ending the week before the end of the regular season.
No, I know that.
I'm never going to change that, but the last 3 or 4 seasons I've been paying attention, nobody's been the clear cut, holy shit, they've got the first round bye locked up. They're not going to play the last 2 weeks, or, this team, got it in the second to last week, so they're not playing the last week of the season. Their game is meaningless. And the NFL, I think, I forget how many years ago it was that they sort of, the last game of the season is all a divisional matchup. So you even have those teams that are I'm not going to rest my starters until I'm kicking their ass.
Yeah.
So, fantasy-wise, there is the potential. I don't think we should ever change it. I think it's fine the way it is. But if it ever becomes a thing where it's hey, we should try this, we could give it a try for 1 year, but I feel it being disastrous, and I just see it as not a thing.
Yeah.
So I'm never going to push for that to be at all a thing going forward. But Kevin, you're now in the lead with 46 points. JV and I are tied with 44. Boss and Stan are tied with 37. And Tommy is still not making picks with 13. And the only reason I would really hope for a stat correction on Boss's part, because if there's one that gives him the win, that makes me 6-0 on the week.
Nice. Yeah, I
That
mean,
would have been great. You're the only one I got wrong, and I'm not happy about it.
Don't
Oh,
pick
That's kind of why I went and I looked at the quarterbacks, because I'm like, I gotta give him some shit. I gotta see. I
Oh,
mean, I know the remainder of quarterbacks is not a great pool, but like looking at them, I was like, holy shit, he could have just fucking thrown a goddamn dart at a dartboard, been like, oh, it's number 17. What quarterback is 17? This fucking guy. I win.
yeah,
you
could
could have
Mike
had
White
General
more.
Mills. You could have had General
Oh,
Mills.
No, he didn't play. It was Keenan Allen.
Ah,
John.
No,
His
Mills
Or kind
played, I thought.
Allen played for the Texans.
So to pick up the W.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I knew it was about the $11, and I knew you didn't care because a couple weeks ago you made mention of the fact that barring, you scoring 0 points, you're gonna fucking win or be in the playoffs, I should state. So I wasn't really that.
I honestly didn't think he would do fuck all like he did. I mean, that was horrible.
I kind of figured
And
that.
watch
and
the game.
not
but
only
that's-
did he do bad, but the Cleveland defense that Sippy played against you did amazing in that game and scored
Yeah.
more touchdowns. God, you couldn't have written that a script better than that.
The flyer that I think would have been of the quarterbacks that were available. The only one that I could have seen outside of obviously the Dollar Yo is Heineke.
Yeah.
He'd have been the only one, because Mike White, I would have never have guessed that he would have done that well against Minnesota's D. Although, I mean, he did have 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, but he managed 369 yards and 1 rushing touchdown, which got him 28 points. Heineke got 21, which, I mean, I think he's been sort of, he's been mostly above 10. He's had 1 game under 10. He's had 2 games above 20. I don't know. He'd have been the one that, out of all of them, that I'd have been like, that would have made the most sense to pick up. Everybody else is like, well, that's a complete crapshoot.
Yeah. Yeah, but congratulations on the Dollar Yo, the low Dollar Yo. You now have the lowest score any Dollar Yo has ever gotten in Dollar Yo history. It's
well deserved by the man who got it. Me, Deshaun Watson.
Yes, Professor Watson. But let's talk a little bit. Grody, we'll have you start here since it's on the commish. We got commish versus science in this one here. What do you know, Grody?
Well,
Come on.
I don't understand why Joe's got 3 defenses, but love it.
Because I'm in the Sacco.
Well, you get to the point where you're just like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Have 3 more defenses soon.
Just you wait.
Oh, let's see. Quarterbacks, probably a wash. Wide receivers, fortunately, I think Evans has just been on a downturn. Yeah, 5, 6. Yeah, he is not being Evans. That's for sure. Yeah, edge to Jefferson. It could be a shootout with Detroit. I think once you probably going to put in Duvernay, right, for Dylan. So that's
No, I
9
threw
more.
Duvernay up where Evans is, because fuck Evans.
You just run with a bye guy and Dylan.
No, I put Evans down in the flex. That's where he belongs.
There you go. Yeah. I don't. I mean, I'm gonna pick Barry. Just because it's like I feel like what's going on for his team. I mean, I think obviously the one thing that'll probably hurt him, and he'll probably end up having to start Ayuk or Palmer will be if Joe Mixon goes. Obviously, Ryan, who's been doing pretty good for him. Obviously, last week 20 points in 2 games, and then 18 in another. So Yeah. Which is, God damn, he's got like everybody going against Detroit.
He
Wide
does.
receiver, running back, tight end.
Holy
There he is, the Minnesota Vikings. He's even got the backup guy on his bench.
Yeah,
Barry
he's
pick up.
carried Madison all fucking year.
Yeah, I don't doubt it because if he figures if Cook goes down, bam, he's got him right away. So
And he also figured if Kamara got minus 10 points, he might lose this past week.
yeah, what a jack!
I honestly, it would have been great if it could have happened. Like just catch fumble in the backfield, catch fumble in the backfield, catch fumble. Like it wouldn't have happened. But yeah, I mean, I'll pick Barry, but I could see it. Barry fucking having another shit week and Joe getting a win.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I think my order is wrong. Don't you go after Grody Icehouse? I think you do. I think you beat. Yeah. Why?
The one here.
Oh, sorry, I did get that wrong. All right, so Icehouse. Yeah, I have you a little out of order here. What do you think, Icehouse?
Well, it's at he run and flex. I guess he could do IU or someone else. In case Mixon's back. I don't know for sure. I haven't really paid too close attention this week. I'm gonna take Barry. I don't know.
I'm gonna take Barry.
Take
I
a point for me to come up with a theory that makes sense in my head to not pick him.
there's a world where somehow Detroit comes alive right now, and science does not score those points. But I'm gonna guess Barry on this one here. Back up to Kamish.
Give me 1 second. All right. Yeah, Barry. Sorry. I don't know what the hell I was doing. Yeah. I mean, would it be nice? Sure. Does it matter? Absolutely not. I'm going to the Sacco that was determined a couple weeks ago. Like, the only thing I'm mad I didn't do was try and shop Pacheco or Watson before the trade deadline, because Pacheco's been having himself a nice stretch there in those last 3 weeks, 14, 17, 21. And then Watson, even though he's on a bye week this week, but he's had what? Yeah, his last 4 weeks, 31, 18, 20, 22. Like, if there's been one shining star for Green Bay over the last 4 weeks, it's been that fucking guy. So,
Yeah.
we actually
which
traded
oddly
for Pacheco.
enough, of the two of them, one of them will end up being my keeper more than likely, since there's nobody else on my team worth a shit to keep. And of course, this is the other reason why I'm sort of advocating for the we do just up until the start of the playoffs, trading goes through.
Yeah, I like it.
As long
That
up until before the playoffs start, I don't have a problem with that.
That's what I was
trading during the playoffs. Yeah.
Oh fuck no! There's no trading during the playoffs. You're not going to trade from somebody who picked up a flyer that's in the sack or who got bounced in the first round. Like, no.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be like, okay, now what the fuck are we doing here anymore?
No, that was sort of like the thing, like, because it would be Thursday at whatever 7:15, whatever time the game starts on Thursday next week. That would be the trade deadline, and that would be it. Anything that's accepted after that point in time, I am automatically hitting disallow. I don't care how dumb it is. I don't care if it's two people out of the playoffs trading kickers. Like, you're just irritating me. Like, no, we're not playing that game. But in any case, yeah, Barry all the way. Would it be nice if my team came alive and Barry shit the bed? Sure, why not? One little funny thing to make fun of him, especially since he was like, I'm going to take this guy out. Better safe than sorry. It's not a kicker that's going to miss a bunch, you jackass.
Yeah,
it's a fucking running back that would need to fucking fumble the ball 5 times to fucking make you lose. Oh, and by the way, it have no positive yards at all.
Yeah.
Fumble with negative yards 5 times for you to lose. Like, do the math, you jackass. Not enough time to pay attention to fantasy football, but not enough time to actually do the math. Which is why it pains me to pick him, but I'm going to.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna do Ice House here. Or no, do we? I'm just gonna go back to the no, I'll do Ice House here. Ice House, you get 7-1 versus Grody.
Alrighty. 7-1.
I don't oh my.
I'm sorry, I was going back to look at how many points Barry scored on the season, trying to figure out like how much Kamara would have mattered, and well, if he had a monster game, it might have made a difference in the end. We'll find out.
Well, I mean, he is neck and neck with you two in terms of most points scored. So
That's what I mean. It's like looking back, and it's like, wow, what a fucking idiot. I mean, take whatever he gives you, man.
Yeah.
Could have been 30 points for shit.
I mean, I
Just
don't know
got
what he got in that game, but it just, I don't know. It's going to be funny to me. It's going to be funny to me at the end because I'll make a point of it if he doesn't have the most regular season points.
Yeah. I mean, you're playing to get the most amount of points. Put the guy in. It's not like he's a questionable play or anything like that. It's not like someone who might like he's the main guy. You're playing to win. Put in the damn guy. Even if it was a kicker, put the guy in. Come on.
Here's got negative points before.
Yeah, if it's something like a point, if it's like 3 points or less, and it's a kicker, I could see taking him out. A kicker could miss a couple, and then you're losing. I get that, but like a running back having to lose yards and multiple fumbles is just no. The odds of Alvin Kamara having more than one fumble in a fucking game, like, come on.
Yeah, come on.
They literally have to on the first snap, then I don't know. He'd have to fumble again and get tackled 10 yards behind the line, and and beyond that, they're probably not going to put him in. So it's like it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Where he's coming from with that shit. Anyway, you get Josh Allen versus Trevor Lawrence. I don't think Trevor Lawrence has been that good lately, has he?
Been okay.
Average. Nothing to worry about there. I mean, obviously Josh Allen's going to score more. Stephon Diggs is going to go up against Sauce Gardner, so I don't know that he's going to blow the tires off. But Juju's not doing anything, so I don't have to worry about that there.
Yeah, look at that.
I mean, it's like, don't worry, he's not going to score fuck, so who cares?
Well, in their last matchup, Stephon Diggs still got 12.5 points against the Sauce.
That's respectable.
Yeah.
And apparently, nonetheless, somehow. Well, I guess he does get a touchdown just about every game. Burks versus Burks. Slight advantage, Kirk. Singletary, Barkley. What's going on in the Buffalo backfield nowadays? Is Singletary the guy?
Mm-hmm.
It's him, and then they bring in the rookie Cook every once in a while, but it's still his main backfield.
Yeah, he's only like 3/4 of a running back when you got Josh Allen. So
yes, he's Josh Allen's 1A, Singletary's 1D.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Hey, it's 3rd and 5. We want to run the ball. Well, they're probably going to lead with Josh Allen. Find a way to get it done. Kareem Hunt, it hasn't gotten over 10 points in a bit. That's not looking good. He not even get his 8. Connor should do that. Yeah, going down the list, it's I can't not pick Rhodey on this one.
Yeah, I will back you up on that one there.
Just like, well, I don't see why he shouldn't win this.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it's 2 picks on Grody there.
Las Vegas, and about that.
Kamish, what about you?
I mean, straight up, just without looking at the individual players, point differential aside, I mean, even with him putting in a wide receiver that might be slated to get around 9 points, he's still 30 points behind. Like,
Yeah, it's just
you're not, hey, again, Barry's team scored 77 plus whatever Elvin Kamara should have added to him. So, I mean, you're looking at 80 something points. So, is it possible? Sure. But, like, the odds, no. So, Grody.
No, 3 on Grody there. Grody, what about you?
Yeah, I'm picking myself. So, the one thing I do hopefully like is that if he is playing Trevor Lawrence, him and Christian Kirk have been making a connection. So if he throws if Lawrence
There
throws
you
any
go.
touchdowns, he throws them Kirk's way.
even better.
But the one thing I was gonna make, because Joe was saying after the playoffs start, no trades. That's why I was gonna on here let Eric know if you ever watched this before. Eric will trade you my whole team so you can beat John
Hey,
and get him out of the playoffs.
hey, wait a minute now. Let's give the guy a chance to set his team and everything like that. He might be able to pull it off. All right, I've got auto draft versus skins. So we've got Goff versus Herbert. Both of those two, even though Goff is playing against Minnesota, he has shown that it is an offense that can produce. Although he doesn't get a lot of points, he does average. He's like Trevor Lawrence, I guess. Has some good games, had some 1 or 2 bad games. Herbert isn't necessarily
Yeah,
as impressed. Well, no, Herbert's a little bit more consistent, so it's pretty good. You got Godwin playing against San Francisco's defense. I think he'll get that. Amon-Ra St. Brown has just been a great wide receiver to have on a team, so I think he would get that and more. Moore versus Lockett, they're probably in for those points. ETN and Elliott, I would say that Elliott is probably going to produce a decent amount against Houston. I mean, hell, at the end of the game, that's probably all they're probably just going to be using him. Wilson versus White, they'll probably get those. Kittle, if he stays healthy, should be good. Mark Andrews, same. I don't know, is he going to get that high? I don't know if Andrews is the hype that he's up in those points. I think he might be lower. I don't know who Hollins is. Mac Hollins. Wow, what a carrot top. Holy crap. That is a hairstyle. Man, that's a mop.
rock and roll, dude.
Yeah, that's rock and roll. That's like Weird Al, man. That's awesome. I don't know anything about those guys. Okay, kickers. Ooh, Buffalo defense against the Jets. There's a chance for interceptions there, maybe. I don't know. I'm somehow auto draft is pulled through. I'm gonna go auto draft on this one. I think he's got a possibility with this here. Kamish.
Ooh. I don't know. Goff got 20 points against Minnesota earlier in the season. And that same week, what did Amon-Ra St. Brown get? He got 8.8 points. So, although he's been doing a lot better the last 4 weeks, so I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, Rodgers and Jones on a bye week. He's got 2 empty spots, so I mean,
It could be anything.
he should be able to fill them. I don't know with what. I have not really scanned to see what's available, but I mean, if he gets some players, he might have a chance. I can see a way in which this goes Bates' way, but I don't know. I'm going to go with Skins this week.
Skins. All right. Grody?
Yeah, I'm taking Skins. I think, it's the end of the year. He's got to finish strong,
Yeah. He'll be trying with that, yeah. And then Ice House?
I believe in auto draft. I can't keep picking favorites, so clearly somebody has to come from behind. And if anyone can, this team somehow can.
Makes sense.
Well,
Yeah,
DJ Moore's got the Sam Darnold connection. So
Sam
those two, I
Darnold.
feel like. Well, Darnold comes back and look at him. Look what happens. He has himself a game. It's like,
Yeah.
all right.
All
I
right.
mean, not likely, but Tampa Bay's defense against San Francisco, third string quarterback. Hey, Tampa Bay might have a fucking game.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh,
Mr. Irrelevant.
White or Buffalo against Buffalo. I don't know, man. Mike White barely does shit. Somehow he gets it done. I don't know how. It doesn't make any sense.
He just throws yards. He doesn't score.
So I don't know. I mean, just to find a reason to not pick all favorites. So,
That's
in
fair.
this case, why?
It seemed last week like a large number of underdogs won. So it's I don't know. I agree. I agree. All right. Up to Kamish. Kamish, you have Blavender against Icehouse.
Well, Icehouse is a kicker away from a complete lineup, so credit him with about 7 points, and you're looking at a fairly even matchup in terms of projected points. You've got Mahomes and Murray. Murray this season, I don't know that he's been particularly. No, wow, so I'll be damned. Fantasy-wise, he's been north of 20 all but 2 games, so that's shocking. Otherwise, you've got Rapist on the bench. Let's see.
Doesn't need to be here anymore.
Yeah, I know. You'll probably dump him for a kicker. Let's see. You've got to. I got to admit the wide receiver matchup in this has got to be like. I don't know if you guys had the same. No, he didn't have Hill earlier in the season. He got Hill now. This has got to be like a stacked wide receiver matchup. Like Hill and Hopkins on one side and Brown and Lamb on the other, as well as you've got Cooper in the flex.
Wow.
He really doesn't have another wide receiver. His flex is Leonard Fournette, who's been Mr. rather irrelevant as a running back this season. He's had one stellar game at 31, otherwise below average almost every game. So, but yeah, that wide. I mean, CD Lamb against Houston and AJ Brown against the Giants. I mean, those are points in the bank right there.
Oh yeah.
The other side, you've got Miami with Tyreek Hill in Miami versus the Chargers, and Hopkins versus New England. I mean, that seems like point central right there. You got Henry and Williams versus Eckler and Pollard. I mean, Pollard's been just points, throwing points on the board for Boss. He's had a couple of down weeks there, but like, I mean, dude's had some definitely some good points. I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of the word right now. Not projected. He's put up some points on the board. There it is.
Posted
Posted. Williams, on the other hand, against the Minnesota defense. I mean, he got 25 in the first matchup, so not exactly. Minnesota's D is not exactly that great. So running backs could also be fun in this matchup. Tight ends kind of a wash. I don't know how Higbee's been doing since Stafford's been out, but it looks like he's been so, more or less below average. Whereas Moreau, what's he been doing? Come on.
He's been below average all fucking season.
Oh yeah,
he's still running with the guy who's never gotten 10 points. It's like that's your ceiling, less than 10 points. Indeed.
Also grab a kicker, so that's not a problem per se. Kansas City's D against Denver is probably a good matchup, and as well as Dallas against Houston is probably a great matchup. Like, I got to imagine that's going to be a pretty high ceiling for him. This is honestly a pretty even matchup. I think it's going to depend on who ends up getting more. And I just mean, like, I feel like they're going to get their points, but who's going to just who's going to end up getting more? I feel like that divisional matchup between the Giants and Philly, it's only one matchup, but the other thing is like Murray to Hopkins, like that benefits both of you. It's also Monday night. If it comes down to Monday night and you guys are relatively tied, that favors Boss with Kyler Murray.
It'll be fun. It goes down to the Monday.
Oh, and your the battle of your tight ends is a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
It's like
This is-
who can get to the first 5 points.
right.
Wow.
Whichever tight end goes above 10, they're winning.
Whichever tight end scores above projected will determine the winner of this matchup.
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically.
You know what? I'm gonna take Boss in this matchup.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Boss. What the hell?
Got one for Boss. All right, we go to Grody.
Boss.
Yeah, another one for
I'm going to
Boss.
put a call into Kyler Murray. He's going to throw all his touchdowns to James Conner, not Hopkins. So you can get the win. I'm picking Boss in this.
Go. Ice House.
I'm not picking myself. No, I'm not picking myself the last week of the fucking season.
Yeah,
I think it looks like a fucking lock for me.
Awesome.
Nah.
This is the best part though. You're pretty much out of the pick'em. I mean, you literally would have to get every game right to be able to try to get to it. So yeah, you might as well pick the opposite so everybody else gets you correct.
It's true.
Yeah, true. So
Preach.
I mean,
Big preach.
take Glavin in this case. We'll happily be wrong. So as always.
Exactly.
So hey,
I will be picking Ice House because if Cleveland can do to Houston what Cleveland did to Houston, I can't imagine what Dallas is going to do to Houston. That's ridiculous. So
They right now, the both of them right now have the prime matchups for both of those defenses.
yeah,
Playing probably two of the worst offensive teams in the league.
yeah,
Like
it's gonna be.
I wouldn't be surprised to see like 30 out of both of those defenses at the end of the day.
Oh, we come to Grody. Grody, you get to talk about the garbage barge matchup: Scriptum versus Peanut.
Matchup of the century. This is so awesome. To the guy who thought his team was over, he is one win away from making it to the playoffs. And to the guy who traded his first round pick for Travis Kelce, he's one loss away from being out and then not even having a first round pick. Scared.
this is the greatest. This is the greatest thing ever.
The best part about Boss's matchup with Desmond is it's point central. Like they could both score 200 points in that week. Like that's how amazing it is. The amazing thing about this matchup is it's like you win, you're in. You lose, you're out. Like best. This is the best matchup.
This is gonna be fun.
The thing that sucks for Eric is that it is bye week hell for him.
Yes.
He's got Taylor, he's got Claypool on a bye,
Too bad.
and he's got his kicker, and he's got a defense. Eric, talk trade with Joe. Joe's got a few defenses. Maybe he can help you out.
Hey, no.
And Eric, I wish I could loan you a guy, but Joe said after playoffs start, no trades. So going through this great matchup, it definitely quarterbacks. I would with the teams that they're playing is they're probably getting those points, if not more, especially with Joe Burrows being a divisional matchup. And Jalen Hurts being a divisional. So I think I got to give the edge to Hurts because of the running. I mean, I know last week Joe Burrow did rushing touchdown, but Hurts has done it. Got 2 and sometimes even 3 in a game. I give the edge to Hurts because that running ability of his. I mean, he could run for 150. Wide receivers, I got to give the edge to Keenan Allen. Deebo Samuel has been average at best this year, and now without even Jimmy, he's got Mr. Irrelevant throwing him the ball. I don't know.
Yeah.
Isaiah
Mr. Irrelevant threw a touchdown. God damn it!
He did throw a touchdown. Isaiah
First
McKenzie.
Mr. Irrelevant ever to throw a touchdown pass.
This is true.
Yeah.
Hey.
Isaiah McKenzie, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4 good games here and there. He actually, when he played the Jets, he did nothing last time. So hopefully for Eric that changes. That doesn't look well. Clayton, he's had a few good games, so looking good there. Stevenson has been solid for fucking New England all year. He's only had 2 games below 10. Other than that, he's been pretty much a 10-point machine every week plus. Going up against Arizona, he's definitely going to get points. Harris, low average at best. He's had 1 really good game. That's it. And everything else has just been 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. So Swift, he's been kind of rebounding a little bit. Scored a touchdown in the last 4 out of 3 games. So hopefully, with it being kind of a shootout with Minnesota, maybe hopefully he might get those points. Chubb has been a beast all year. Not so much this last game against Houston. Wow, he only got 9.7.
No. Kareem Hunt was a star in that game.
It's crazy. No, Kareem Hunt got even less. He got 8 points. They both were bad.
Oh,
The
really?
defense
Oh.
really shined in that game.
Oh,
I was gonna say that-
that's right. Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. And then Kelsey's last game I know was pretty bad, but I mean that guy's been just ridiculous all year. I'm pretty sure against Denver. He's probably going to score 4 touchdowns. So that's your bright spot right there. Henry's had 2 good games. Other than that, garbage. And then Deontay Johnson's done nothing all year, so that's not good. And Miles Sanders, going up against the Giants, hey, he could definitely get those points. Eric, like I said, has got to get a kicker and a defense, which I'd probably say kicker wise be another 7 points. Defense probably, if he gets a good one, probably at least 8 or 9. So he probably puts him close to around 110. Only puts him down by 11 points. So
He could get a Pittsburgh defense that's slated to get 12.65 or
there you
Tennessee
go.
12.2. But I'm going to pick both of them up in the morning since they have more projected points than 2 of my defenses. And I just can't have that.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. That is actually a good thing for John too. Jets defense last time they played Buffalo, they got 12 points. So I mean, not bad. I mean, obviously this is at Buffalo though, so it could be worse. So
I am nervous about that.
yeah. So but yeah, this has got a good mix of guys from different teams. So I'm picking just because I love you, JV, but I
want
just
it.
love
You
to
want
see
it.
I want to see you fail. So I gotta pick Eric in this. I don't care if I'm wrong. I gotta pick Eric because I would love for him to beat you and be in and you be out. So it would be fantastic.
I appreciate that. I completely appreciate that. Yeah. All right, we got one for Scriptum. Ice House.
Oh, see Eric winning this game, as much fun as that would be. I told Eric in the chat, whether it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, it's like, you got to do is win out, Eric, and you still got a chance. You're saying there's a chance, and well, we are. Sure enough, fucking is.
Sure enough.
I mean, may not look good, but it's fucking there, and hey, you can't ask for more than that. If I was, in that hole 3-4 weeks ago, I'd say, tell me there's a chance. That's all I need to hear. Until you say I'm out, I'm still in it, damn it. It's, couldn't have lined up any better. This is beautiful. The fact that, it's really the only, I guess every other game is just there's too many factors to consider. Everybody scored how much and all that. So this is the one that, it might, will it come down to like a Monday game or something?
Hey, Stevenson.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
Steven.
And Hunter Henry.
Better.
One on each side.
Oh, wow.
Might just come down to how we got to get Eric a Monday kicker just to kind of even the score a little bit.
No, somebody else has got Nick Folk. He'd have to pick up Arizona's kicker, who I don't know who that is.
That Robbie Gold.
Funny guy.
Robbie Gold.
I'd be like, okay, well, Ramondre
Arizona?
Stevenson, Eric is.
That's San Fran. No, I don't know.
Dan Fran is Robbie Gold.
Sorry.
Well, I guess we'll see who picks up who, what. No,
He's been there since he washed out of Chicago.
Arizona's is Matt Prater. He's out there.
Ooh.
You come up, Eric.
Question is Arizona's D out there?
Ooh.
No, I think Blavender has been using him all year.
Yeah, with KC. The fucking weirdo.
Yeah. I've given him a bunch. In
They
videos
got Kansas
prior.
City's chump defense and Arizona's chump defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
So Ice House, you going for Scriptum or Peanut?
taking you, Jen.
Taking the Peanut. All right. Commish.
A vote for you is not always a vote for a win, but I'd at least like you to be at an even number. So I'm going to vote for you this week in hopes that a vote for you is a 50-50 chance for a win.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
At least make it an even coin flip instead of some weird 6 out of 8. What does that even mean?
Who knows? Maybe, hopefully, actually, maybe it'll end at a tie, and it'll go to some other strange way that determines that one of us is winner. That'd be fun. Yeah, I'm going for
I'd end
myself.
up being you because of points.
Oh yeah. I'll
Yeah.
vote for Peanuts. Vote for a win. This one here, please, Eric. Don't check your team. Don't listen to text messages from Grody. Don't listen to text messages from anybody. Nobody text Eric anything. I'm going to send him distractions on Amazon to see if that prevents him from not checking his team.
Little do you know, I've just been live streaming this whole thing to him.
No.
FaceTiming makes you.
Yep.
Here's your plan of action.
Oh my
You need
god,
to do.
that's funny.
We're gonna help him out. Don't worry, Jen. We got your back.
No, dude.
Wow. He's stabbing you in it.
All right,
I truly think it would be not amusing that John doesn't make the playoffs. But I mean, as far as Eric and his paying attention to his team, he has done a pretty wonderful job of like making the right moves, putting in the right guys, and it's been working for him. I got it. Like that's amusing. It's amusing to me because for as much as I pay attention, I can't put in the right wide receiver fucking ever. It doesn't matter. Like the last 2 weeks, admittedly, yes, I knew I should have put in Watson and I didn't. And I'd be at what? Instead of 3-10, I'd be at 5-8, and it's still no chance of making. No, I'd have a chance of making the playoffs. John would have one less win. He'd be at 5-8.
Yeah.
I'd have beat Eric. He'd have been 5-8. Like we'd all be it would have been a 3-way for the final thing, and you two would have been playing each other, which would have guaranteed one of you losing, which means I think points wise, I think I'm behind both of you in points, so I'd be out mathematically anyway, barring some insane amount of points. But like it's funny to me that like for as much as I pay attention and I guess this is the guy who's going to do a week and he doesn't, and I don't know what thought process Eric has going in. It's impressive to me that he's been like, here's my lineup and shit, it works.
Yeah. That's true. That is true.